welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those who need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SkimPod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, where we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum216,
Lunchbox2099,
The Real ODP.
And I'm your host, the Internet's Tayrel713.
Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy and Milk.
I'm blaming lame-ass rappers fronting for faming. I should open up a casino for all the games you playing. I'm saying, every day is a different naming. Plus they old knows now. Big black niggas flaming. We stressing that you don't be stressing us. And if you GS and GS then, don't be BSing us. Just be BSing. Logically, not like that we be guessing. Because the truth need no modesty. Cristal to spring water, Bacardi, whatever. What it is what it is. We can party together. You know how the game goes. Whenever your name grows, but still, love is love, fucking the same hoes. Against the grain goes the souped up rapper. He's spitting venom. Now we gotta get with him. And then the 10 things frightening, while his men clings. Then watch the blood extract out his ass like ginseng. It all ends with all of his men's hit, and now our future friendships strictly forensic. But that's the life we living. Driving, that's how we driven. Striving, you must be robbing, cause I ain't giving. Shoot your guns. Hello and welcome to it. It's Stays Crunchy Milk episode 434. And no, you should not snort a line of pixie sticks. I'm joined by my best friend. This is Tatum216.
I'm sad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Lunchbox2099.
I showed up today.
You show up most weeks. God. It's a rarity that you're not here. And back after a 2-week break, but really only a 1-week break, because I mean, you know, you got to hear his voice at least once in that time off period. It's the RV in Puerto Rico. It's my homeboy Gabe. What's good, champ?
I have 2 more stops. Say Gabe.
Oh no, man! Yeah, this has been a week of just bullshit for the LGBTQIA plus community. And for just the world in general. But yeah, Florida's House passing a law today, it's not law yet, but passing a bill that says you can't say gay in the great state of Florida was really an unexpected twist in an already real fucked up set of twists we've had. So yeah, you get the fuck out of Florida as soon as possible. At that level, kind of. Good Lord. It's like, I feel like you've done so well and have such a good time in that state for it to be run by such fucking shittery just ruins it, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck that guy.
But you swam with goddamn manatees and that's hype.
I did swim with manatees. We'll talk more about that in the future, hopefully.
For sure. So it's all to the good. You know what it is. We remote. So we do we do a couple news stories. We share some adventures from our lives. We do some Am I the Assholes. We buckle up and get the fuck out of Dodge while we can. Kept the stories tight this week. Only got 2 for you. One, of course, you know, we got to do one for the Ohio. And we got one that's just like my man Mike Fowler, fuck Mike Fowler, sent to me over on Instagram. And I said, yo, well, that's making the show. So thanks, Mike. Although he said he cannot abide by going to Anthony's house because he has to be worried that he might pull his dick out. So,
well,
Mike Fowler.
That's why I've been waiting for an invitation for the last 6 years.
Well, first, Mike Fowler, I would not pull my dick out near you because I'm attached. So I was saying back in my formative years, if I would invite somebody, back to my house for popcorn and DVDs, it went down.
Put a hole in the bottom of that popcorn bucket.
Nah, I don't like synthetic butter on my penis.
It's like I feel like let's not put hot items near your junk.
Has anyone ever done that? Really?
Oh, I'm certain somebody's done that.
How
does
that possibly work out in their favor?
Well, I mean, they might have done it at the behest of a lover,
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. See, don't think they did it with what?
And
I think they did it with a surprise, like, I'm gonna bum rush you with this, bum rush you with penis.
Not only that, if Mike or Sir Fowler were coming to my house, he was expecting that penis to begin with. So I don't see what they're talking about.
Oh my god!
It didn't need to be said. It was understood.
Yeah, it's like already understood. Like
I got that defense from Derrick Rose.
Fair enough. This is from from Jake Zuckerman of the Ohio Capital Journal. I got this from Scene. Ohio man and 2 others plead guilty to plotting a white supremacist attack on the power grid. 3 men, one from Ohio, pled guilty to a federal terrorism charge after admitting their plans to attack the power grid in furtherance of white supremacist ideology, according to documents unsealed Wednesday. Christopher Brenner Cook, 20, of Columbus, Jonathan Allen Frost, 24, of West Lafayette, Indiana, and Katy, Texas, of Katy, Texas. Okay, I'm like, and Katy? And Jackson Matthew Sawell, 22, of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, each pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiring to provide material support to terrorists. Court records show they entered their pleas on February 7th. Each man faces a 15-year maximum sentence and up to $250,000 fine. I'm going to stop reading this right quick to point out to you, the motherfuckers they thought was terrorists that they put in Gitmo have been, in many cases, locked in Gitmo since the first time they said these motherfuckers was terrorists. But these dudes could go to jail for only 15 years at the top and probably won't get all them 15 thrown at them. It just be paying to be white in this country. I'll tell you that shit right now. It's just, you can engaging in terrorist acts and they like, man, maybe you do 15. Probably you'll do 5. I'm going to get back to this. The facts stipulated by the men paint a goal of racist dystopia in which an armed attack on power grids would cause confusion, economic upheaval, and unrest. Ripe conditions for a revolutionary force, the documents state. They were each assigned their own substation in different parts of the country to attack. The court filings do not specify the locations of the substations. There were also conversations about how the possibility of the power being out for many months could cause some serious change or a straight out war, even a race war. Additionally, that without power across the country, it would cause the next Great Depression. People wouldn't show up to work, the economy could crash, and there would be a ripe opportunity for potential white leaders to rise up, the documents state. The men discuss using explosive devices to distract law enforcement as officers respond to any siege. Frost sought to provide rifles for the men, including by building them himself with parts he purchased online, according to court records. He also brought a rifle in Texas with no serial number, known as a ghost gun, and brought it to Columbus in February 2020 for Cook. At the time, the 3 met to plan their assault. Sawell and Cook brought spray paint, which they used to paint a swastika flag at an unspecified park with the caption, "Join the Front," a pseudonym for their online chat group. A spokeswoman for the U.S. Attorney General's office declined to provide the photo or specify which Columbus park this occurred in. In August 2020, FBI agents raided their home and found weapons and Nazi and white supremacist material. Agents found a tactical magazine and various camouflage jackets in Cook's home, along with recently acquired but not yet assembled rifle in Frost's home. They found multiple rifles, suppressors, gun components, and chemicals that the FBI testing concluded could be used to create an explosive device. Other court records show a long list of seized weapons, ammunition, chemicals, and electronic devices. Of the latter, agents found in Cook's bedroom a copy of the book Siege. The court documents don't specify the author, although the Southern Poverty Law Center, which monitors hate groups, says Siege was written by neo-Nazi James Mason and pushes for violent extremism. The book appeared on a list of suggested reading for people he tried to recruit per documents alongside with A Squire's Trial, which bears a swastika on its cover. Where the men to get caught, they discuss making suicide necklaces filled with fentanyl, a powerful opiate. Frost provided such necklaces to Cook and Sowell, the latter of whom swallowed his pill during a police stop after the Columbus meeting, but ultimately survived. All three await sentencing. Attorney information for the three was not available on a public court database as of Wednesday evening. These three defendants admitted to engaging in a disturbing plot in furtherance of white supremacist ideology to attack energy facilities in order to damage the economy and stoke division in our country, said Assistant Attorney General for National Security Matthew G. Olson in a news release. The Justice Department is committed to investigating and disrupting such terrorist plots and holding perpetrators accountable for their crimes.
Columbus always into some shit.
Yeah, niggas always into something. Oh, that one was just this world and the state, and that just kind of sprinkled on top of it. This one, will you be able to walk it? Let's see. This
my waka abilities, but
my man Fowler sent this to me, but Fowler sent it to me from World Star Hip Hop, and I'm just like, not really a reliable source, so let me go try to source this out a little further. When the one I finally settled on was the Toronto Sun, which is Toronto, Canada, and because it seems to have all the information, and it's from a source where I'm like, okay, you didn't get this from like some back alley situation. Teacher who serves students semen-laced cupcakes gets 41 years.
Was it Van Wilder?
More than a terrorist, though.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of this story. What's so crazy about this story is that's not the worst thing they did.
What?
Did it Wilford, who has the byline on this. A former Louisiana teacher who fed cupcakes laced with her ex-husband's sperm to students was sentenced to 41 years behind bars. Cynthia Perkins, 36, who taught in Livingston, Louisiana, used her husband's bodily fluid to season the baked goods.
Mm-hmm.
She accepted a plea deal in which she agreed to testify against her now ex-husband, Dennis Perkins, 44, a former special operations lieutenant with the Livingston Parish Police Office. She not only waived any right to appeal and attempt to avoid conviction, but she also spared the victims from reliving her horrific crimes during this particular trial, Attorney General Jeff Landry said. Conviction is in the best interest of our victims and justice.
What's the motive here?
Let's see.
Really.
Court documents obtained by WBRZ last May revealed the police found photos of Perkins students eating the semen-laced cupcakes. The twisted couple also allegedly raped a child who was 9 or 10. Investigators allegedly found hidden cameras in the attic and bathroom and said they uncovered more pictures on an iPhone. The ex-junior high English teacher was sentenced to 40 years for second-degree rape, 30 years concurrent for involving a juvenile under 13, and 1 year for the cupcakes incident. There is no possibility of parole. Perkins resigned from the school after her initial arrest in 2019. Perkins' attorney, Paul Wooty Scott, said the client looks forward to testifying against her former husband. He is the real monster, Scott told WTRF. That's what she wants to make clear. It's not about shifting blame. She took responsibility, but she looks forward to going after the real monster. Dennis Perkins is facing 150 charges, including rape, child pornography, sexual battery of a child, video voyeurism, and conspiracy of mingling harmful substances. That's the story. And like I said, of course, the most salacious details, lady served cupcakes full of nut. Well, that lady only got a year in prison for that. Everything else is she's a fucking rapist. And that's really what y'all should be talking about.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
A rapist, a child pornographer, any other number of things.
I mean,
not that semen cupcakes ain't sick as fuck, and probably should have a larger kind of charge situation on that. I feel like that should be a little longer in the imprisonment off of that shit. But I mean, they got her for a year, I guess, on that.
Yeah,
but you can't bring
cupcakes are terrible to begin with. So they were served, but they just never finished them to begin with. So it was like, Well, we don't really like cupcakes. We prefer pie.
I don't know. I like some cupcakes.
Everybody knows fucking pies are better than cupcakes.
Well, they are.
That's
but
true.
Yeah,
We'll just tell your mom we ate it.
that's not the takeaway.
There's
What?
nothing like warm apple pie.
Oh God, we're about to have nuclear war.
I'm sorry, what was that, George W? How did you just say that?
Nuclear.
No, that is not how we pronounce that, okay?
How do I pronounce it?
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Nuclear. Okay. Nuclear.
2 syllables. Nuclear.
So,
Nuclear.
if Putin do throw a bomb this way, how safe is Ohio?
I have to imagine he'll hit like Seattle or something.
Well,
Yeah.
so definitely West Coast,
I wanna
probably
see
not. I'm be real with you, probably LA, San Francisco. And that's no disrespect to them. I'm not trying to whatever. It's just kind of what everybody's been prepared for. Okay, so let's just go ahead. This is I really was going to just avoid talking about the Putin, but I guess I mean the fact that the sword of Damocles sits over us, I might as well get into it right quick. I am nobody's tactician or war whatever, but I was totally thrown off by the fact that they said he attacked from Belarus on one side and Russia on the other. That means he set up shop in a country that we just went. I have not heard that we thought he was fucking around with like that. So I have not read of or seen. Well, no, I've never seen shit like this, but I've not read about shit like this since fucking World War II when the Nazis was doing crazy shit like this with their attacking on multiple sides or on multiple fronts. And like Napoleon used to do shit like that. Now, again, these are like some of the greatest military minds of all time. I'm not trying to show love to the Nazis, but guess what? They really was on some shit when it came to war. So, if in that mindset, I don't know what can I expect from Putin? Because guess what? He seems to know his shit. Been studying for a long time, being preparing for it for a long time. They said he blew up every airport they had in that country in one move. Right after he said, "Okay, we about to pop this shit off," and then it just started popping off like right then and there. So it's not like this. Some like you can't be like on some this dude ain't a problem. No, he's a motherfucking problem. I'm saying. And then he told motherfuckers, say something to me, and I will fuck you up in ways you can't be expected. And I'm like, wow, what does he mean by that? Well, as it turns out, they went and captured Chernobyl in like real short order today. Chernobyl, as you know, was where in 1986, I believe, the power plant exploded and is still basically sealed under a concrete sarcophagus because it's fucking nuclear waste. Why the fuck would you go capture basically a bunch of nuclear waste? Well, because you're probably gonna do some dirt with that shit. And so, like I said, that's why all this shit becomes a scary prospect. This motherfucker knows what he's doing and he knows how to do the damn dirt, and that is frightening to me. And in my mind, I hadn't had to worry about nuclear war since fucking Reagan was in office, and that's because you're worried he was gonna go pop some shit off, So, how safe is Ohio? We do have that salt mine we can go kick it in if it goes down to it, but everybody probably thinking the same thing in that regard. Run to the salt mine. But it's there. So, it's malicious, y'all. So I don't. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It exists in our life. You know what I'm saying? This
part of history in this podcast right now.
Yeah.
The thing about it all that like astounded me was just how like everyone knew that it was going on and they just kind of like kept doing what they were doing anyway. Like I was on Twitter while like shit was being bombed last night and my Twitter timeline was steady just people talking about sports and whatever. And I was on Twitch like watching people when it first started happening. And then like the people streaming like saw the shit and they still just kept playing Call of Duty, and people in the chat were like, "Oh shit, World War III is about to pop off," and then people were like, "Keep your war talk out of here. This is a separate thing." And I'm thinking,
we're fighting a different war with zeros and ones.
Yeah, I was like, not that like any of us can actually do anything about it, but like y'all are just like, "Oh well, that's them." they ain't gonna do shit to us. Just keep playing Call of Duty. Hop into the fake war, even though there's like a real fucking one going on that just popped off 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That like is gonna have ramifications for the entire world. Like today, our government froze Russia's assets. You think Russia's gonna be cool with that? Like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do anything, but like I don't know what the best course of action is. I just know that like at some point somebody's going to do something that somebody else don't like, and then it's just going to get worse. Like you already know that like Russia probably has an alliance with China, and
they do.
And then they're about as soon as this shit's done and over with, and they got this shit on lock, which probably will happen within the next day or two. They're gonna fucking turn their attention to Taiwan, and then Taiwan's coming home to Mother China.
Yeah, it's the if you're wondering what the what has been stated as what the deal is with China and Russia, it is that China is still just going to keep providing Russia with food and stuff like that there, despite Western countries saying, "Hey, nah, don't get them shit, starve the motherfuckers out." So they never really will be starved out because China said, "Now we got you." So that's just where we are at this point, and yeah. Like it's one of those situations where it's like literally the only answer is a terrible answer. So because it basically just means bomb the motherfuckers into the goddamn Stone Age. But you do that as soon as you attempt to do that,
everybody's throwing.
We look terrible because they gonna start throwing them shits right our way, and they'll just throw them shits without a fuck to be given. We'll pretend for a little bit that no, we are going to do precise strikes against military targets and blah blah blah, and they're going to be like, no, I'm hitting your grandma's house, and you're going to deal with that shit, and then China will be fine because they'll be the remaining superpower, and that's what it is at that point. It's fucked up. Fucked up in a way that we all knew. We've already known. We've known this shit was going to be what it's going to be, but now here we are at it, and then it's just fucked up. Because, like I said, we can't do it. You can't go popping them. You can't go doing it, even though it's like, well, that's the only answer you really got. If you don't want this to occur, then you have to, irradiate the motherfuckers into the goddamn past. And we can't do that. Because then we the motherfuckers who did that a second time. Motherfuckers still don't like us because we did it the first time. So, war. Rumors of war. We can't do nothing about it. Y'all know what I'm saying. So...
Yeah, no.
It's unfortunate.
Well, my other comment was...
It's unfortunate this is, like, what we humans have made life into. Like, we all can't just, like, live life and enjoy our existence and then pass away and, like, be in peace. Everything's got to be fucking chaos that we create.
We repeat ourselves. We've done this once. We've done this multiple times. It comes around so often where motherfuckers just like, I want that land. How do I get that land? I'm going to go fucking fight them. It was with spears, it was with stones, it was with knives, it was with swords, it was with whatever. We do it all over again. We chill for a little bit, then we come do it again. We chill for a little bit, then we come do it again. It's just at this point, we have just the most impossibly large swords ever invented by us. And it's real bad, man. It's real fucked up that it's got to be this way. Oil up to $100 a barrel, which means your gas price is going to be wild expensive. Not like I get my oil from Russia or anywhere else. It's just oil companies that's all of a sudden like, seize on that. Companies that have made record profits even during this pandemic is all of a sudden pretending like, well, we got to raise prices because why? You don't have to raise prices. You made record profits, but you raise prices anyway. And so it's just like, fucked, and fuck some more. It sends us into like a depressive state. Again, similar to the depression. What happened? We went into a depression. Then what happened? We went into World War II. Got us out of depression. Why? Because we had to build up and prepare for war. And that's how we got out of the depression. And millions of people, tens of millions of people died. Tens of millions of civilians died. Tens of millions of troops died. So forth and so on. It's like I said, who the fuck wanted to do the 1920s all over again here in the 2020s? Why repeat ourselves like this? That's a bad matrix, and I want out of it.
Does that mean that like COVID was like polio?
No, it was just like the Spanish flu of that time. Again, I'm not joking when I tell you this shit. You can go read all the articles about that particular flu back in the time. It was the same shit. Wear your mask. Fuck that. I ain't wearing no mask. It was just like down to just now to that level of granularity. We are simply repeating ourselves because we didn't learn from it the first time. And capitalism is a motherfucker. So Waka waka.
My other comment was going to be like, what if one of those kids had a nut allergy? But I went with the nuclear war comment instead.
Nut allergies affect us
If
all.
one of the kids had a nut allergy, sir.
I love it, Gabe. You make this show keep rolling.
Could you imagine if like the most evil man to ever live actually had a nut allergy? It's like the way to like take him out was to like smuggle a peanut into the Capitol.
That's why Mr. Peanut is so evil.
He's got a cane, the monocle. I don't know if that makes him evil, but how many good guys have canes and monocles?
None.
The Monopoly man?
That motherfucker evil.
I don't know if I trust him.
Like if you go around the board, he gives you $200. That's a stimulus package.
Yeah, but when the rest of the world is getting two racks, and you're only getting two.
Send you for jail.
First up, as always, is my man Tatum. Ant, what you got for me this week?
Man, so many things. But yet, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? What should I talk about? So I was thinking, like, it was funny that you know, I don't know if you noticed or not, but outside of this friend group, me and Dan talk to each other about stuff. And he has sent me what I would consider a pog that wrestles. And I was thinking like I was thinking about this before then, and it's like just like a whole subset of attractive women who are musicians that I don't know any of their music at all. Like I only know them because of their attractiveness.
I mean, for me, there's probably a lot of women that fall into that category.
Yeah,
especially
it's a
like
ton.
from social media.
Yes, it's all from social media because how else would I know who they are? Like, there's a couple like exceptions to the rule, like Wooty. Like, I only know one of her songs because one of them is real good. But like of course I know some of Megan Thee Stallion songs. I know some of Cardi B songs, but like any of the female rappers that last name or doll, I don't know any of their music. So that's Asian the Brat Doll, Cass Doll. It's like 5 other dolls too. I just don't know.
What about the Pussycat Dolls?
Don't you?
First, it's a whole conspiracy. Like I was on TikTok, like I am because I'm bored during the day sometimes, and like the lead one. What's the lead one's name again? Lunch.
Nicole Scherzinger.
There we go. I wasn't gonna try to say that last name. She was like, she had like this interview during this 3-minute TikTok video, like, oh, do you really want me to get into it? And now I just swiped up. Anywho,
I saw a video the other day of her like in a dress doing the splits and shooting a bow and arrow at a target or something.
With her feet?
No, just like she did the splits and then shot the bow and arrow.
I'm sure she on Wiki Feet though. Anywho, in particular, there's a female rapper named Ruby Rose. I don't know any of her songs, but what I know she is most famous for, from what I know her for, is her being on OnlyFans, and like everybody getting mad that they joined her OnlyFans and her content ain't paying off to what they want it to be, which is
I think that's the gamble I think you take when you try to sign up for a famous person's OnlyFans.
I mean,
yeah, she's not going to shove a dildo up her ass. She's on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Man, well, I don't think she's going to be doing either one of those things. I don't think she's going to be on the cover of Rolling Stone, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't want to see that anyway. But I don't mind like those tails. I know where that tail is coming from. But do I gotta know how those nuggets is made? I don't need to know about the pink slime. I'm just gonna eat them nuggets.
Also, can I add that like when you said pog, it made me think of the word booty, and it's one of my favorite words.
Wooty is pretty good. But Wooty is like one of those things. Like, I mean, of course, Pog is like one of those things too. But like, if somebody's saying Wooty, Ebony, or Pog, okay, brother, come on. I know what kind of language you using.
Woody's like catchy though. You know, it's like
I don't know that one.
It feels festive. It's
How's
white girl. Woody's white girl booty.
Never heard
So it's
Wooty?
white.
I have never heard Wooty, and I'm in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are in these streets. But were you in these streets 20 years ago?
I was not.
Because that's what Wooty is. Wooty is like one of those terms. Like, it's definitely DVD, a 5-hour DVD term.
Or the double.
All right, so if I were to Google Wooty, how does one spell Wooty to begin with?
You can spell it both ways. It's either WHOOTIE or WHOOTY.
I would go with
WHOO Wooty with a Y. Wooty. There's a song by E-Dub.
Okay, E-Dub.
There's a hashtag on YouTube. There's a learning is fun way. What does Wooty mean?
Learning is
So let's
fun.
click on let's take a look at learning is fun. Wooty meaning. What does Wooty mean? What does Wooty stand for, and how to use it effectively? Have you ever wondered what the young mean when they use the word Wooty in daily conversations or on social networking sites? If you do, this article is a perfect one for you. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. What is the definition of Wooty? In order to refer to a white woman with a lovely face, a slender waist, and a voluptuous, huge, generous, and attractive booty, people use the slang Wooty. The plural form of this noun is Wooties.
Wooty.
Where does the slang Wooty come from? No one knows exactly.
West Coast Productions?
Well, no one knows the exact original information of Wooty. However, it is claimed that Wooty was created as a blend of woo in the phrase white girl with ooty in the word booty to form the term Wooty. The phrase white girl here refers to a young Caucasian woman, but is typically associated with notions of vacuous materialists. It's undeniable that this slang word is becoming more popular and widespread in online communication because Wooty is frequently used by individuals to describe a fantastic booty on a hot white girl.
So,
In fact, the word Wooty is sometimes written as Wooty, Wooty, for short.
see, this is the thing, though. It seems like Wooty is one of those words where slang has caught up with popular culture. Now, a couple years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, simp or simping started coming back. When the word simp was said when I was definitely a little kid, and I'm an older as man now, and like yes, stuff comes back around, but like slang caught up with popular culture there, and I guess popular culture is catching up with Wooty, which is probably because it's a safe hashtag to use on TikTok that won't get people shadow banned or blocked.
Well, word to Wooty. But I'll carry on that. My apologies, sir.
Well, so with the original question, what other entertainers do you know of that you think are attractive? But it's like I don't know what you do, and I've never heard of you in any other. How'd you get that blue check mark? I don't know nothing about you.
I mean, I'm older now, so for me, that's almost every celebrity that I've come across on Twitter. Because, like, I don't know who the fuck anybody is anymore. There was some, I think she was an Olympian or something that I ran across, like, a couple months ago. I never heard of this person, and when I click on her name, she had, like, 1.7 million Twitter followers. I still don't know who the fuck she really is. But she had almost 2 million. I mean, I don't really know her body because I didn't look her up. But it's just an example of someone like being famous and I have no fucking clue who they are.
But she was attractive.
I mean, she's alright. You know, young Olympian.
That's not enough, Daniel.
I mean, I could try to dig her up if you want and like do some research here on the spot.
That's okay. We're already almost an hour in.
I don't know. Let me think.
All right. How about you, Gabe? Don't let me down, man.
Oh,
Pressure.
what was Vita?
See,
What was Vita Guerrero famous for, except for being attractive?
Yeah, but she's not an entertainer though. She was in that one movie, but that was only because of her rear end.
The
I didn't know
problem
she was in the
is, when I find an entertainer attractive, I look them up to figure out what they did or what they do or what they were in or whatever. Like I research to figure out who this person is. So it's like there's not very many people where I run across. I go, oh, you're attractive. I don't know what you do, and then like I go about my merry day. I go like because research is how you find out if there's any like naughty stuff floating around on the internet.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could like if I know of anyone who's famous, but I'm not in them circles no more. I'm an old man. You know what I'm saying? I look at I have definitely all of a sudden started getting fed a certain type on TikTok, on my For You page, and I'm like, what have I done to get in this? Do I need to get out of it, or do I just remain here? And
Would they happen to be redheads?
no, but it's just a lot of boobs, lots and lots of them.
I guess the one that I could think of off the top of my head that was recent was Camille Winbush, and that's only because when she first popped up, I didn't remember that she was Vanessa from the Bernie Mac show.
Yeah, that shit made me sad, man. I mean, I know I shouldn't feel that way, but because that is something that she wants to do, like be on OnlyFans. But when I seen that shit, it did kind of make me sad. Like, wait, I'm like, no, Vanessa, no. Uncle Bernie won't want you to do that, baby.
America, I'm fed up.
And then her brother, was like one of Theo's friends on Cosby Show.
Yeah, I in figuring out who she was, I did see that she had a famous brother. But
I don't know
like
what
I said, when she first popped up into like my current life, I had forgotten that she was Vanessa on Bernie Mac because I haven't watched the Bernie Mac show in like 15 years.
Okay.
And she's like 33 now, so that would have made her like in her teens.
Yeah, she was definitely a little kid on that show. She was she was strong as a child actor. She, was popping shit off, and then after Bernie Mac went off, that's when her star meter started to fall. Like
like I've never seen her in anything besides the Bernie Mac show.
Like the little girl from My Wife and Kids is pretty attractive now. Like the youngest daughter.
That the Damon Wayans show with Tisha Campbell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think her name is...
My knowledge of black sitcom actors and actresses and whatnot, I am very impressed with my ability. Like, I was looking at a photo last night from, like, a 1980s movie, and it was 3 black dudes were the lead. It was like it was someone making fun of the war. And they were like, send these guys, and they'll know what to do. And it was David Alan Grier, Robert Townsend, and some dude that I didn't know. It was something...
Yeah, there was... Yeah, it was the guy from A Soldier Story.
Yeah. So, but I was like, me as a white man being able to immediately name David Alan Grier and Robert Townsend. Did people know David Alan Grier from very like Jumanji and shit, like white people? But like, I don't feel like most white people know who Robert Townsend is. Like, not all of us were watching The Parenthood or Meteor Man.
Yeah.
Hollywood Shuffle.
So when you were watching the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago, you knew who all those blonde dudes were then.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl actually.
Oh shit.
At all. I didn't watch the I watched the halftime show, but I watched it the next day on YouTube. I didn't watch the halftime show live. I didn't watch any of the game. We were talking last week about letting shit go, and part of my problem was I was so vehemently rooting against Odell Beckham Jr. that I couldn't bring myself to watch the game. So I literally did not watch a single play of the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty happy him and Von Miller got a ring.
What'd you say, Gabe?
Neither did I, but I was moving day for us, so...
Yeah, no, I played Call of Duty instead. I didn't put the game on. I avoided it because I didn't like the amount of animosity I was harboring from all that. And I didn't want to sit here for 3 hours actively rooting against somebody that doesn't even know I exist. You know, like I just wanted to like do something productive with my day. Well, or at least something positive. And so I avoided the whole thing. I didn't even know he fucking tore his knee until the next day.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
at
why I
least
sent that tweet. Oh no, that's not why I sent that tweet. I sent that tweet because he was added to the team late in the season. Never mind.
Yeah, like I didn't know that he tore his knee like halfway through that game. I had no idea until like the evening the next day. That's how removed from the whole thing I was.
I was following on Twitter. It looked like a close game. Looked like an interesting game. I missed.
Yeah, the only thing I look at on Twitter is fat deals and IGN deals. And after I look at that, that's it. Like if you, because y'all ain't even been posting that in the chat lately that much.
Yeah, my Twitter feed is like really curated now. So like I logged off. I went to bed about 1:30 last night, and when I woke up at like 8:45 this morning, I was able to get through Twitter in about 30 seconds from everything I missed. Because I don't have a bunch of people and they're just spilling nonsense anymore. Like I've muted a couple words so some things don't pop up, and then I don't follow like a million people, so I get through everything pretty quickly. And like I only really tweet like during like sporting events for the most part, and I don't even do that much. Um, yeah, like there just hasn't been a whole hell of a lot like going on for the most part. It was All-Star break for the NBA, so there were no games until tonight, and so that's been kind of quiet. And the war has been the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think about it. Like, no new movies have, like, really come out, like, the last, couple weeks. Like, people are waiting on Doctor Strange and shit, but, like, the last movie that I was excited to go... Oh, and Batman, I guess, next week. But, like...
Are you guys going to see that?
I'll see it at some point, but I don't have plans for it right now.
Man, I don't... it's quite like your revelation. I need to like let go on how much I don't like Zoe Kravitz. Like I just don't think she's a good actress. I don't like her at all. Like almost to a like not quite to like a disrespectful like yeah F her, but it's like I just don't think she's a good actress.
I don't hate her, but she like what you're saying for me kind of makes me think of like sometimes I don't understand why certain people are as famous as they are. Like for me, I don't understand how or why Zendaya is so famous. I get people like her, but I don't know why.
But Zendaya is different though. Like Zoe Kravitz is almost okay. Zendaya has been a child star for almost a decade, and like she is what I would consider a good actress. Zoe Kravitz is the facade of what Zendaya is, pretty much.
And I guess like maybe for me, I didn't know, I'd never seen or heard of Zendaya until that first Spider-Man movie she was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know anything she did prior to that. And so for me, it's just like she's the Spider-Man chick, but yet she's got like 25 million Instagram followers and people like worship her. And I'm just like, why are you all worshiping the Spider-Man girl?
Well, she's a Disney star first.
But see, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, what was she in on Disney? Like, I haven't watched Disney Channel since like 2005. Like, High School Musical 3 was probably the last thing I ever watched on Disney Channel. So, like, I missed an entire decade of shit. Like, I almost convinced myself to go back and watch, like, Girl Meets World, but I never did. I never did. I saw, like, half of an episode inside of a burrito restaurant. And I'm not making that up. I was literally at a burrito restaurant, and they had Girl Meets World on the TV. It was the weirdest thing. But, I never went back and watched that, which, like, of all the things they could have put on would have been something I would have connected with since I love Boy Meets World. But I didn't watch that, and so I have no fucking clue what shows were on, like, prior to that. Like, the Jeanette McCurdy, like, all I know is she was getting railed by Andre Drummond for a hot minute. I never saw what she was with Ariana Grande. Was that Nickelodeon show? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, that was a Nickelodeon show.
So, okay, so she was first on Nickelodeon show iCarly. Then she was on a show called Sam and Cat, where she played the same character, Sam. And that's how, and she was pretty much done after that. And she was happy to be done with that because she felt she was kind of forced into acting by her mom. And she's like, I'm good. I don't want to do this no more, and won't come back to it. Zendaya was in a show called Shake It Off. It's a Disney Channel show. And she was in that show with Bella Thorne. So you know Bella Thorne, famous for making a OnlyFans that she wouldn't put no shit on either because famous people would not put shit on OnlyFans. And that show was a fine enough Disney show. The kids watched it. I remember watching that. And so,
like Wizards of Waverly Place, when did that end? You know,
I don't know that show. So
that was the Selena Gomez show.
Okay, so that's where that one came from. So that's where the Miss Coleman, who only rocks, when she was on Shake It Off, she was Zendaya Coleman, but now she dropped it to just Zendaya.
What Shake It Off? Is it like a fitness show? Like what? Is
No, it was a show where these teenage girls they live with their parents and stuff like that, and they went to school and either they went to dance class or they danced on a TV show. I can't recall, but it was a fine enough Disney show. It went for a few years, so yeah, so. That's where she kind of got her start at. And
she started off on Good Luck Charlie. Then she did the Bella Thorne and Zendaya Watch Me, Shake It Up.
Shake It Up, not Shake It Off. Sorry.
And she was also in one of the Super Buddy. She was in the Super Buddy movie, where she played.
There's more than one Super Buddy movie.
Well, she was in the Super Buddies movie.
What's Super Buddy?
But what Buddy the basketball player?
Air Bud get out of control.
Air Bud.
Oh,
and, Bud knocked up a random golden retriever on the road, and he decided to make a proper woman out of her, and they had some puppies, and they became superheroes.
Okay. Also, I'm not questioning it because it's a kids movie. It literally, like,
and she voiced Lollipop.
See, like, I wanted people to understand.
It became like Santa.
I wasn't shitting
all these things.
I wasn't shitting on Zendaya being a celebrity or her talent or anything. I literally just didn't understand because all the stuff Anthony is naming, I've never fucking heard of.
I knew her from KC Undercover. That's where she played she played like a super spy.
It's another thing I've never heard of.
I mean, but you don't have kids, and
it's not my demographic, so that's what I'm saying. It's like
not.
I have kids, and
I didn't understand.
What talking about.
Well, you knew Super Buddy.
You don't got cable though either, do you, Gabe?
No, I just saw streaming.
Yeah, so I guess I'm saying like my stance on it was fair, in that like. I just didn't know who the fuck she was, so I didn't understand why everyone adores her so much. Like, I mean, yeah, she seems like a good enough person or whatever, but it's not like I'm not like, fucking reading everything she writes or listening to everything she says, or I don't follow her on Instagram or nothing like that, like.
I don't follow her on Instagram. I don't. I think, like I said, I've heard of her through like my nieces and stuff like that, watching her show, but where I started taking notice of her is when they start taking shit about her, like back in the day, because on the red carpet she had like faux dreads, and they were saying like, and this was like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, that lady didn't that lady get fired for that shit?
She might have, and like she was like, she looks like a stoner, and I'm like, where's that coming from? And then like after that actually probably helped her more than it hurted her career. So,
I guess like everything you're saying, I can understand why younger people would be drawn to her because they grew up with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she is a good actress. Like, I enjoy her in the Spider-Man movies, and like for the most part, she does an all right job in Euphoria. Like some of the shows is weird to me, so it's like it's hard to judge some of it because it's like the cut scenes and stuff. So, but she does a good job.
I think she's the only pretty much her storyline is the only non-weird part of Euphoria. It's the only.
I just like I'm like 3 weeks behind because like I told you I'm letting it build up.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I'm just talking about the first season.
I know, like all I wanted to say was like, I enjoy her part of the show. I don't really give a shit about most of the other shit that happens in that show.
I totally agree with you. Like, I haven't started season 1 because like I mean season 2 because I missed the first episode and then I was like fuck it, I'll just let them build up pretty much like I did with the first season, but it's only from the whole show is interesting, but her character is her and the drug dealing boys were like the only ones I was like, oh yeah, I like them in the show.
There's something that happens in the second season, in like one of the last episodes I watched that like really made me uncomfortable, and like is what I think is kind of like harnessing that feeling of not wanting to watch this anymore because I don't want to see the stuff that was like hinted at.
So
And
what happened?
I'm hoping it doesn't go there. In a
Hold on, can
roundabout
I
way.
guess?
I mean, sure.
Did the father molest the son?
No, no, it has nothing. It's part of Zendaya's story.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess like spoilers for those listening. Do you two care?
No,
I won't be watching Euphoria,
I've
sir.
never seen that
yeah,
Euphoria.
I can see T is scrolling through his phone or something. He's
Okay.
I'm playing spades.
oh okay.
So those listening that don't want Euphoria spoilers, if you haven't watched any of the season, scroll ahead like 60 seconds. So, all right. The part that made me uncomfortable was about like 2 episodes back. Like I think like episode 3 or so, because I think I watched up to episode 4 so far. Zendaya convinces a drug lord lady, she's like literally a drug kingpin, to give her a case of like $50,000 worth of drugs that she is then going to go to school and convince her friends to sell. And like the plan is that like they can sell them and they won't get in trouble as severely if they were adults. So it's an easy opportunity to move the product. Her ulterior motive though is really she just wants to get drugs and fucking do the drugs without having to pay for drugs.
Oh,
But when the lady gives her the case, she tells her, "Don't fuck me over," because like she says it all calm and shit, and she sounds all like low toned and lethargic and shit. So she seems unassuming. But when she gives Zendaya the case of drugs, she tells her, "Don't fuck me over, because if you do, I will get you, and I will kidnap you, and I will have you work off your debt." Like,
Whoa.
yeah. She basically tells her if she's going to kidnap her and turn her into a sex slave if she doesn't come up with her money. And that shit to me was extremely uncomfortable and made it very difficult for me to continue to watch the show.
wow.
Spider-Man will save your ass.
Because he forgot about you. I mean, because you forgot about him.
And the spoilers.
That was 2 minutes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still gonna
spoil
watch.
much.
Like, I come to the realization, like, it just my opinion. I know this isn't everybody's, but shit really can't be spoiled to me because I still need to know how it got. Like,
They say
and like
they
what
say
happens
scientific
afterwards.
study on spoilers.
No, you're good. I have to remember you're on like a 5-second delay.
I am on delay.
For me, yeah. Sometimes it's like I don't like knowing because then I go into it looking for it rather than just enjoying the show. Like I watch wrestling on Wednesdays, and I was gonna watch it yesterday, but my buddy couldn't come over, and then he was like, "Oh, we'll just watch it on Thursday." I'm like, "Well, you know, I have to do the show on Thursday." He goes, "I'll just come over during work." Well, the way things are going, I could tell his ass wasn't coming over during work, so I watched it myself this afternoon while I was working. But that particular federation of whose show I was going to watch, they post everything that happens on their television show to their social medias within 3 minutes of it fucking airing on TV. So if someone new debuts or someone wins a match or something crazy happens, after the segment airs on TV, they have the video up on Twitter and Instagram already. So it's like I was trying to avoid that shit because I knew I was going to watch the show today and I didn't want it spoiled. But of course, because they post everything to social media, I saw 2 things before I watched today's episode. So I went into it knowing that those things were going to happen, which kind of like changed my perception of the show.
You know what flabbergasted me as a little kid? Not even a little kid, but when I was younger, that you could call like a 1-800 number and play a few bucks, and they'll be like, "You want to know who gonna win a match tomorrow night? We'll call and we'll fucking tell you." I'm like, "What?" And I knew like one of my friends who mother like let him fucking call and like spent the $3.99 a minute or whatever it was to get what was gonna happen on wrestling in a couple weeks.
Isn't it crazy that they charged that much for that kind of shit back then?
$3.99.
Wow.
Think about like the sex
It might have
lines,
been
man.
more. Have you guys ever called one of those before?
No.
What, a sex line?
Yeah.
No, but that's just I had a general. Y'all have to remember, man. I was afraid of my mama, and I can't even imagine what she would say if she opened up the phone bill and saw that shit on the phone bill. It would have been in my head.
Gabriel?
I wanted to call this all up to the part that they say like, "This is how much we're gonna charge you." And I just wanted to hear their voices. Like, okay, I'm good, and I hung up after that.
This is the hottest. I remember back in the day where like I used to call and like check my bank account. I think I was with National City back then. If you got one number wrong, you got a sex line, and I accidentally called it quite a few times. And like it was either like the 3 and the 1, like whatever was mixed up, but it happened on accident quite a few times. Like, of course, I'll hang up and call my bank back because I don't want to get charged for that shit. But like, it was just like, "You've called the hottest sex line." I'm like, "What? I want to know my account balance. I need to transfer funds."
Oh my god, what a time when you had to call the motherfucking bank to hear your balance, sir.
These youngins don't know.
They don't. They don't hear me though. They don't hear me though.
I used to call
Man,
information. I called information once. We were drunk and at my friend's house at high school, and we used to call. I called the information line to like see where I can find some strippers to come to our house, and like not getting anywhere. I said to the phone operator, because there was the actual person on the other end of 411, or operator or something, like, you got a sexy voice. How do you look?
You said that?
Yes, I did.
So, like, if you guys were like for looking for strippers, why didn't you just like go find like some sex workers outside or something like that, or go driving around like every good comedy?
Well, they were drunk.
Gonna be driving.
Yeah.
And also, it was my suburb used to drive the homeless out to Cleveland and drop them off at the border. I don't think they were letting sex workers walk the streets.
Yeah, like I used to have HBO as a kid, and like I always like I've been in Cleveland my whole life. So I have seen well, I guess what's the kind of way of saying it? Like in my neighborhood, like women who are addicted like to drugs, but I've never seen like one of those Hollywood what Hollywood would make you think going on, where it's like ladies wearing like leopard print skirts walking down the street with blonde wigs.
Woman.
Yeah, I've never seen that ever in my life. And also
I've never
drugs. I've never seen nobody offer me drugs at any park I've ever been to at night or anything like, "Hey man, I got some crank for you." Like this whole nefarious underworld like that TV makes you think happens. I've never seen it before.
I was offered.
They used to be outside. Oh, go ahead.
I was offered weed at a park before.
By a friend?
No, like as a sale, like a transaction thing.
Did you open up a trench
That's
coat
about it.
And like show it to you?
No, it was just a young brother hanging out. But yeah, like I wanted to say though, like to Anthony's point, Hollywood has a way of like putting a uniform on genres and occupations and classes of people that just like people who don't ever see anyone like that just assume that like everyone is what Hollywood makes you think. Like you're saying, like everyone thinks that hookers just walk around in the street in like hot pink fish nettings with like big hoop earrings and their hair all done up and shit, and like one half a black eye with cover up on it or something, you know?
Yeah.
I they used to be outside my dad's office all the time, and I'm showing up at his office one day, and I'm pulling into the parking spot, and I guess there was one outside the office, and she thought I was listening to her, and she started walking up to me until she realized that like I was just there to go to the office, and like my brother lectured me like, you know what she thought, da da da. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? That's where the parking spot was. I'm not. It's not my fault. She had a misunderstanding. It's not like she walks up to me and I'm like, oh, now I got to give you money to suck my dick. Damn it! I was just here to visit my dad.
If I didn't know you, brother,
what do you want me to do in that situation?
It always seems like you not accidentally have sex, but like you accident like women. All these women are accidentally like falling over you, like you Leisure Suit Larry. It's like like
I don't know. I pulled up.
Like that's the but those are that's just I just have extra cloth in front of my penis. I don't have an erection.
Where I come from, we call those happy accidents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what was she wearing though, Gabe? I mean, not to
She's
probably
just
jeans, right?
Tights. Yeah, just regular tight pants, and I don't know if she had a heart of gold or not, but
see,
was I supposed to? I just don't understand why my brother was lecturing me. Like, what was I supposed to do, yell? I'm not here for sex. I'm not here for sex. I'm just parking here. Like, I'm just pulling into the parking spot. I don't know. I'm just pulling into the damn parking spot. Give me a break. Not my fault she was there.
I remember.
Wait, I'm confused. Was he lecturing you for interacting with her?
He was pulling up like he was lecturing me because I pulled in that spot and made her think that I was soliciting her. Like I saw her there, I wasn't soliciting her, so I didn't give a fuck. So I just parking.
And
he's like
she thought she was. This is a good spot.
Yeah, she thought you were there for her. Like, well, that's her fucking problem, not mine.
Yeah, that was your problem.
I feel like he was being inconsiderate of her because she was clearly holding that spot for clients, and you parked on her territory. I think he is right to be upset.
Find the territory.
I
Put your
agree.
gears down the street.
I think you're lucky that her pimp didn't come over and smack the shit out of you for parking there.
Trust me, the women on that particular stretch of land were independent workers, pimp free.
But I'm quite sure that guy was wearing a big floppy hat and some goldfish pumps. I had the most awkward proposition. I don't know if it was quite a proposition. Yeah, it definitely was. So I was on Shaker Square, another place that you wouldn't expect, this kind of activity to go. And it was an icy day, and I was walking home. And an older lady was like, "Please, young man, can you walk me across the street?" And like I started walking her across the street, and she, grabs onto my arm, and then she's like, "I give you some head too." I'm like, "What?" Like, you better walk your ass across the street by yourself. Let go of me.
I've never been. It's just you because I've never been propositioned like straight up. Like I'm gonna sex you up. The closest I got was like this cougar. I told this story on the podcast before. This cougar it put in Bay. It was like all breathy in my ear. Like you're the best looking guy in here. I'm like I don't. Maybe she was just complimenting me. That wasn't a proposition.
When we was in Detroit, like what did you say to those ladies that made them turn around and look back at you?
I said, "Be careful," or something like that. Like, be safe out there. I don't know what the fuck I said.
You said something.
You know, I think if a lady of the night propositions you, at the very least, you should take it as a compliment because they at least find you acceptable enough to have sex with. Even if it is for work, they still are okay with the idea if they're approaching you. I think it's when you have to approach them that they go, fuck, I guess if I have to. But if they're just like, hey, Big Daddy, at least you're passable.
Hmm.
Ah, I guess that's a positive way to look at it.
Hooker compliments should be accepted and appreciated just like everybody else's compliments.
Oh,
Hooker
shit.
compliments. And maybe I could take that as a compliment then. Like she was hoping that I was there for her.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like maybe did she actually get into your car?
No, I wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, like of all the people that she could have seen in her shift that day, you may have been the most handsome.
I had hair back.
You were a breath of fresh air for that woman.
That is true. I mean, you'd rather serve a nice customer at the Wendy's drive-thru than someone who's mean to you.
Could you imagine though if like the prostitute model like evolved into them getting into strangers' cars and then not agreeing to leave until the person paid them to get out of the car? Like without having to perform any kind of sexual act or whatever, just like you get into their car and they're like, "Get out, no, get out, no, get out. I'll get out if you give me $10."
I don't like that.
My name is Joe Blow, the love of man. Bitch, you should be paying me.
I mean, what's more respectable, extortion or prostitution?
I don't like either.
I guess extortion.
No, I don't have a problem with prostitution. Extortion's worse. Yes, at least prostitution, you're doing something. Extortion, you're just like you're strong arming folks.
I mean, in order to be a prostitute, sometimes you do have to have a strong arm.
Well, I've let this meander about 20 minutes now. I think I should try to redirect traffic, get us back maybe on some kind of point, because that's usually what this host duty it gets me doing.
That's okay. I don't care.
A lot of mileage out of that one. A lot of mileage, gentlemen, and thank you for that. Daniel,
I would also like to say we accomplished 0 of my segment, but I don't care. I appreciate it.
I gave you Camille Winbush.
I said
that's okay. We're moving on.
I forgot what I said. That's how long ago it was.
I like the fact that I don't feel satisfied.
That's his kink.
You need to get
Mox, man, what's going on with you this week, bro?
So all right, let me think. We recorded last week. Then the next day I dropped some packages off at the post office. Then I was home all weekend. I played a little bit of Call of Duty. I watched a WWE pay-per-view on Saturday afternoon, which was kind of
was it any good?
Meh. It didn't enthrall me. Didn't make me wonder why I hadn't been watching that for the last year. I only watched it because I still had the service from when I had paid the $5 to get it for the Royal Rumble last month. So I had like a week left on the subscription because I already had set it to cancel. So I watched that, and then I watched the second and third Psych movies that I had been putting off watching. So that just reminded me how much I love that show. Like one of the best shows of all time. I miss it every day.
Oh.
And I obviously I know I can watch it in syndication, but I wish that like they still made the new episodes. But I guess I can live with movies. You know, at least it's something. Sunday, I think I just watched TV all day, if I'm being honest. I know my life sounds really boring right now, but Monday I went to go
I'm jealous that you get to watch a whole movie without falling asleep.
Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Those ones I was sitting in the recliner, so it would have been harder to fall asleep. Plus, I had caffeine because I had drank some G Fuel, like rolling through me. So I was kind of wired, and so yeah, it would have been tough to fall asleep during that. I ordered some shelves from Sam's Club to help the eBay storage in my home. Went to go pick them up; they couldn't fit in my car, so I had to have my buddy come over on Tuesday and take his mini SUV up there to grab him for me. Then worked and watched wrestling yesterday. I'm sorry, no, I worked and then I played Halo yesterday for a little bit because my Halo team finally got together for the first time, like with the new members. So I played a little 4-person ranked last night for about an hour and a half, which was interesting. What was that?
How'd you do? How did you do?
Oh, me, I started out terribly because let's just say I was under the influence. And I was playing on a 65-inch TV, which is not recommended for a game of that style. So I was handicapping myself in more ways than one. So the first couple games were kind of rough. And then by the time we got to the last 2 games we played, I was doing all right. I kind of turned it around. But at that point, then they were on the West Coast and they were getting off and people over here were going to bed and shit. So I wanted to keep playing, but, I can't control everybody. So then today I made a purchase. So I had $45 in Best Buy credit from buying the TV and my printer a couple months ago, like the Best Buy rewards points or whatever they're called. So I had enough where it generated a $45 Best Buy gift card or whatever for me to use, or certificate. I don't remember what the fuck they call it. I think it's Best Buy rewards certificate is what they refer to it as. And so some people in my Call of Duty chat were talking about this game that's coming out tomorrow, and I had never heard of it. So I looked it up, and so then I saw IGN's Twitter feed tweet about it today, and so I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this. So I was looking it up, and I was like, I've been wanting not a first person shooter necessarily to play in my downtime when I'm not waiting on other people to play first person shooters with. So I went ahead and I ordered Elden Ring.
Oh.
Elden Ring. So it comes out in 30 minutes. As of the time of recording.
Have you ever played a Soulsborne type game?
No, but to me it looked kind of like Monster Hunter, Witcher type shit. So I was assuming it was in that vein.
Let me know how that goes for you.
Are you asking me I'm wrong and you want to know my reaction?
Oh no. That type of game is a very specific style of play, and people who fuck with it hard, and people who don't fuck with it at all. So I want to know what side of this you come out on, because if you fuck with it hard, man, you got so many games you about to be down with. If you don't fuck with it at all, well, you only took that one L,
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about it was I had a $45 gift certificate.
For sure.
So I only paid in the end $16 out of pocket to get the game. Yeah. And it's coming with a steelbook and some code for a downloadable thing or whatever they all do. But I figured for $16, because the certificate only had so long before it would expire. Yeah. So I had to use it on something. And there was nothing that I really wanted to buy right now. I want to buy a pro controller, but I'm holding out to eventually get a SCUF controller rather than buying the Xbox branded one. And I didn't necessarily want to spend that much money on that shit anyway. So I was like, all right, $16 for a new game. If I like it, great. If not, I'm only out $16. But then today, I made that purchase this morning. But then shortly thereafter, I also purchased a ticket to go see Chris Rock here in Cleveland in June. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's all I've had going on. It's been a relatively chill week, honestly. Nothing dramatic has happened.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I was just making sure you was all sort of good. Plus, sharing with the listener what's up in your world, because people like to know. So that's.
I picked up a light from Best Buy the other day.
What day did you end up getting that?
I picked it up the night Monday, the night that I went to go get the shit from Sam's Club.
Oh, okay.
I went to Sam's Club first. The things couldn't fit, and then I went over to Best Buy and I grabbed the light.
Very good. I'm glad it arrived. Thank you, patrons, for getting Dan a fill light for when we need to film shit and I need to see his visage more clear. Word to y'all for
off and he just looks like an album cover.
Yeah, well, like I didn't want all the lights on in here. Like I wanted to since we were done with the video portion, I wanted more of a calm mood. So I decided to make it look like I'm Coolio in Gangster's Paradise.
Oh,
Tell me
shit.
why are we?
God. Oof.
He sang so hard on that track.
That man was putting in work. That was effort sweat.
Just a hot ass studio.
I was still
Yeah,
on
like-
mute. That's LV,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I've been playing this game on PS5 called I forgot what it's called. Riders Republic, I think it's called.
Yeah, you've been talking about that.
And then there's I guess it's an acoustic cover of that song on there.
Okay.
And I'm playing the game, and my son was like, "What song is this? That song is nice." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good song." He didn't stick around long enough to find out the answer to. I mean, I think my kids do that all the fucking time. He didn't stick
Ask
around
the
to
question, just
to
run
get
off.
my answer, what the question was that he asked me, but he was interested in those 3 seconds that he was like, "That's a cool fucking song," and then he left.
You reminded me of something that I did want to mention. So the NBA All-Star Game was here in Cleveland last weekend, and
Mm-hmm.
the one thing about Cleveland, whenever we host an event, because we've been shit on for so long and we want people to like us, when strangers come to town, our media has a habit of going around to the strangers and being like, "So, did you like Cleveland?" And then they make a video or an article about it. And sure enough, there was an article that I read the other day. I believe it was by the lady who does the sports on Channel 5. And it was like one of those articles where she went around to like quote unquote celebrities and was like asking for quotes about what they think of their time in Cleveland. And when I opened up the article, the first motherfucker on the article was Flavor Flav. And I was like, this shit is going downhill fast. If the best person you can go ask what they thought about Cleveland was Flavor Flav. He's like, I've been coming here since 1987. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, just put this one in the archives already, please.
Yeah, I am.
Terrible taste.
I just feel it's like all the important people that would have had some sort of sway, they couldn't get access to them, or they probably didn't answer in a way that would have been good for the article. So it's like, all right, well, we gotta get somebody. Get Flavor Flav.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like Flavor Flav is a real nice guy that will see if somebody's struggling and stop and talk to him. Like I've never met him, but I know more than one person who's met him. Like a friend of mine who wrote a book met him not too long ago, and not only like she was willing to give him the book, he paid money out of his pocket still for the book. And stood there with her and talked to her about the book, and like he's just a nice guy willing to talk more to talk.
Yeah, my point isn't that he's a bad person or anything like that. Like I meant more of like if you're trying to get the court of public opinion to sway in your favor, they're tuning out Flavor Flav. Like if that's your first witness, they've already made up their mind. The jury has already come to a decision. Like you got to be able to like pull like Jay-Z or something if you want to get a little more clout on that answer. Like
Jay-Z isn't going to talk to anybody.
In the article they had like, now this is someone whose name I know from, and I think I know their name, and I know they're a musician, but I'm not familiar with their work. Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
My man.
Okay, not familiar with his work, but there was like a little video snippet of him at his concert, be like, "I think Ohio's better than people say it is," or some shit like that, right? And I'm like, all right, well, I guess because you're performing, you gotta say that, you know, like you're gonna be like, Ohio kind of sucks, but I'm here performing, so let's ride this out.
He from Louisville, Kentucky.
he probably think Ohio's better.
Man, yeah, that's Ohio South.
Sure. I just want you to know, my man from Louisville. So
Yeah,
I know. I'm just I'm just saying, like Ohio and Kentucky are very similar. They're just way more open with their red state.
Yeah. I went downtown, and it was just sad to me. Being like in the tower, after being in that area for so long, like knowing that every single thing in that building on Tuesday wasn't going to be there was pretty heartbreaking. It's like all these cool pop-up shops and stuff here.
Yeah, I saw like the one with the local guy did, the artist Daniel Basham or whatever his name is. I can never pronounce his last name. Where he
Mm-hmm.
did the thing with Tiffany jewelry. Like it's like why can't people do that shit here all the time? It's like we got to have an event here to be able to do cool shit like that.
Yeah, like I I like that guy's art. Like I think it's pretty cool.
I
But
like it, but it starts to feel repetitive if I'm being honest. So at least the shit he shows on Instagram.
yeah, I mean, like he does a theme of things that it's going to be repetitive. But like seeing, I haven't been in Tower City in shit. Is it two? It's 2 years, right?
Yes.
Um, and like seeing, like finally seeing GameStop not being there, and
Oh shit.
At this
seeing
point, I wouldn't even know what's left.
Foot Locker and Champs, and like all the shoe stores are still open, and then the dollar store, and then the one sports store down like that sells the jerseys and the memorabilia. Like,
Oh, the one that like we thought would just sell because it sold drugs or something like that.
no, the other one. No,
So
not the.
I always
Yeah,
thought that was happening there and at Brooks Brothers.
I don't know if Brooks Brothers is still there. I didn't walk on that. I didn't walk on that side, but Brooks Brothers, has been open for way too long. I guess they grandfathered in, or if you sell one necktie, that's their rent for the year.
I went to the casino about a year ago, but like I walked through Public Square because we were staying at the hotel across the way over by the Poseidon statue.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go into Tower City that day, and so I haven't been into Tower City since the last time we were at work.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's like I don't know. I know they're I don't that shit. It just wasn't a good feeling. It just wasn't a good feeling for me.
I mean, like let's be honest, it was holding on to its last legs when we were working there before the pandemic.
Yeah,
The pandemic just put the last fucking bullet in the brain, probably. Because like, wasn't their goal to like turn that shit into apartments at some point or something?
it
They did.
was.
The tower is has apartments now, and the
Yeah,
tower
but
is owned by a different company than who owns the mall. The mall is still owned by of Gilbert. The tower and the building we used to work in is owned by K&D.
KND. Um, but yeah, like actually inside of the tower, they're supposed to be like I guess describe as stink pods, like different little business startups, like all within the tower. But I mean, or I guess actual Tower City, not the tower.
Yeah, they
But
were talking
Yeah,
about trying to turn it into like a tech hub with like a Whole Foods and
yes,
shit.
correct. Like I said that was all supposed to take place in the what was the mall area, but they ain't got shit to do with shit. Gabe, man,
Yes, sir.
it's your time.
Okay.
Dazzle
Keep it
me.
short.
there's no dazzler, ain't no
That's a lot
razzle
to ask
dazzle up in
for.
this bitch.
Yeah, I know this has been a downer of an episode. Nuclear war and Tower
I'm
City
sorry.
shutting
What
down.
kind of war? What kind of war, brother?
Damn it! A war
Nuclear.
of atomic
Homer Simpson level
subparticles.
war.
So I don't. What can I do to lighten the mood? Well, my family hates my tasty music. They don't like my. They don't like the music with swearing. They don't like my depressing music. I don't know. They don't like my music, and I try my best to say, "Hey, give this song a chance." And like 1 minute into, they're like, "No." So like, what kind of
You
appreciation?
mean your
is that
family
for
won't even
for the head of the
respect
household?
the that your family won't even respect the fact that Wu-Tang did it for them, the children?
Yes, they won't. They won't. No Wu-Tang Wednesdays in our house.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just recommend you get a good pair of headphones, wireless headphones that you can walk around with, because
I got those.
no, yeah, like family and listening to music, like I don't know. Maybe it's just the ratio of
I
kids
keep.
you got.
I guess they just don't. I mean, I keep one headphone out. It used to be like. It used to be my dad driving. He'd be like, "We're gonna listen to what I want to listen to, and fuck you if you want to listen to something else."
That's the
So it was
rule.
pretty much that. Yeah. But no. I got my 10-year-old up front, and she'll like skip a song or hit pause. I don't like that. Pause or hit the Google. It's a Google. You hit the little microphone and you say, Google, play this song. And like even before the song plays, sometimes like she'll say, "No, fuck that." Uh,
Oh,
she doesn't literally say, "Oh, fuck that," but she'll hit the microphone and say, "No, we're not gonna listen to that, Dad. Fuck what you want. I know you provide for us, and
If you're allowed,
bring money into this household.
if you're not going to stop this or nip it in the bud, what they supposed to do?
I don't want to be controlling like my parents were. I want to give them the feeling
that's
of
No.
autonomy."
They're sure the person driving the car is the damn DJ.
Not in our
It's just
household.
it's just the rule. What I'm saying, it's like, bro, don't touch that. I need that because I'm trying to focus on what the fuck I'm doing. That's dragging this trailer, and y'all asses with me.
next
So
time you
if that,
say
Yeah, I am.
you'll
I'm
never
the guy
touch a Puerto
dragging the
Rican
trailer.
man's radio.
I fucking know, Gabriel, I know. It is. Please don't touch
Trailer, I
that.
just want to hear. Yeah, I just
I,
want to hear a
I'm, I'm
song.
trying. I'm trying to get into my motherfucking zone here. Please chill. You know what I'm saying? And that's the please is only because I want you to not be an asshole. But
No, I just want to listen to the Encanto soundtrack over and over again.
good
Man,
God. So like no.
we don't talk about Bruno is a great song.
That is, it's great, and I hope
per,
that
per,
I hope Manuel Lynn. Wait, hold on. I've had a few beers.
Lin-Manuel
This is my
Miranda.
fifth one. Lin Manuel Miranda wins an Oscar, so he can get that EGOT, that Puerto Rican EGOT. But like, maybe sometimes I want to break from Bruno. Maybe I want to hear something else.
But we don't talk about
And I
him,
try to hear
Gabe.
non-swearing songs. So like okay, it's clean, so you can't complain about the filthiness of the song, but you still don't like it. You know, man,
I don't know.
I just want to hear some music. Let's hear some tunes.
Yeah, I'm still sad about your wife not wanting to watch Purple Rain with you, and that was like maybe 20 years ago.
She watched it once and she had it. She had it with Prince.
I mean, all
I
you
will
got to do
cleanse
is like,
myself
hey,
in the
baby,
waters of Lake. Go ahead.
we're gonna fast forward to this part where he diddle her. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Diddle, 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 diddle.
He did diddle her. The only reason I want to
Hey,
go to
little,
Minnesota is to cleanse myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
I think you should go for it. I feel like you're a supportive parent and husband.
Yes, I
They
am.
need to get off that shit and let you like look. This is gonna be Daddy's half an hour of music. Just a half an hour. 6 songs. After that, we'll go back to Bruno. No, no, no. But this is my six. This is my 6 song block. Y'all all get 6 songs, but this is my 6 song block.
Can I tell you some of the songs they hate that I like?
Sure, I'll love to hear that.
All right, they hate "Someone to Love"
Shame on the
by
nigga.
Jackie Wilson. You know what?
I said they hate here. Shame on the nigga.
They do hate that. Uh, I did tell, like, I was listening to Nas once, and
Mhm.
my daughter's like, mommy told me that N-word is a horrible word and that nobody should say it. And I paused the song and I said, you're right. It's a horrible word and you should never say it. Now let's listen to Nas say it. Why I listen to this song? And it was New York State of Mind.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I guess kids have trouble with nuance.
Well, I mean, you can explain that. No, certain people can't say it. It's just the easiest thing. You can do this. Why don't you do it?
I told them they should never say it.
No, what you said was they should never say it, but you didn't say that he can say it, and you could add the context necessary to say why he can say it.
Oh, I guess I could.
You can teach them nuance.
They don't want to listen to me. That's true.
I think.
All right, I brought this not to shift gears or anything, but I tried to bring this up with my wife, and she totally disagreed. I'm like, this is something what the guys would listen to. I said, hey, we gotta agree. There's a hierarchy of slurs, and the N-word's on the top, and none of them are even close. And she's like, no, we're not gonna do that. I'm like, well, why can't we do that?
It's a factual statement you've just made. I mean, look, hard R's at the top. We all know that. The next one is probably the one people use against people of the Jewish faith. And only certain people use that shit. And that shit hard. It hit hard. No, the C word is not a slur. The C word is not a slur. They say it too much in other countries around this world. It's just a standard ass nothing. It's not a slur.
I don't like it neither.
It's just a filthy word.
Enough.
That's all it is. Yeah.
So, okay.
Gabriel.
All right, now let's do this. Let's do the hierarchy of slurs. We did the booty scale. I wasn't there for that, but I saw the booty scale. Why can't we do a hierarchy?
So you got that. So you got that one. You got the next one down the list would be the slur we use for Latin people, and well, no, in particular, specifically the slur used for Mexican people. I want to put it you like that. I know people will probably just get loose with it, and probably use for anybody of Latin descent, but we know it to be a slur that was definitively put down for Mexican people, and that shit's whack. And Mexican people I know say, "Yo, bro, that shit should never be said," and the wrong motherfucker say that shit. So.
The W word or this S word?
The S word. I was thinking the W word, but now that you say that, I guess the S word and the W word, do they run neck and neck in your opinion?
I mean, if we're swimming over from an island, I guess we have that kind of back too, but I don't know if they run neck and neck.
Okay, then which one is the higher one? Just put it. I'm going to make it your call, and I'm not making it your call because you are of Latin descent. I'm making it your call because you brought the one to my attention.
Bill O'Reilly got away with saying the W word, and no one called him out on that shit.
Excuse me.
All right, we got somebody's phone doing the thing.
No, it's not mine.
And it just stopped. So whoever phone just started talking to the microphone.
So
Bill O'Reilly's. Wow, really?
Yeah, on his show, he popped off and said it, and like he didn't get called out on that shit. But I haven't heard anyone say the S word on TV in like years.
All right, so that means I mean, not that I'm saying it makes it better, but maybe that's a more like, yo, that's fucked up to say thing, and there you go. That's how we'll end with its placement. Right. S is above the W in this situation, but they so close you can barely fit a piece of paper between them.
They're kissing.
Yeah.
They're tectonic plates.
Oh, you know what? And I
like that.
What I didn't think of was the various slurs they use against people of the LGBTQIA of whatever. So those are probably running.
That's high up there.
Yeah.
It's hard to do a
So
hierarchy of words you can't say. You shouldn't say. Shouldn't say. Let me rephrase
yeah,
that. You shouldn't say.
but that's us being respectful of these people and so forth, and knowing that those are some words. And then way down at the bottom of the list is honky and or cracker, which I will say out loud because they both bullshit and ain't nobody really ever offended off them hoes. They want to pretend to be offended by them hoes.
Does anybody send
So-
honky since George Jefferson?
I mean, somebody probably be mad about that shit though. Somebody just heard me say that shit and was like, honky, and so they wild offended off that shit.
Did they make George Carlin's list of words you can't say on TV?
No, you can say that shit, and I think George Carlin's words. I think even now, at this point, we probably only got like just the F word left. You know, because I've watched many a TV show where they just like what shit hit the mainstream like network TV. I was like, you know, so
Yeah,
like you can say that. Wow.
I think they can do it after a certain time.
Yeah,
Like
it's
midnight or something.
after Safe Harbor, which is actually anytime after 10 o'clock, and on cable, they could have been doing it, but they have sponsors, so that's why they don't do it. You know,
I will say that there has been a shift in what's acceptable and not acceptable because HBO does not hold back with the amount of penises they show these days.
but you know,
penises.
Exactly, they have to be limp.
I mean, I would rather not see them at all, but like Game of Thrones really just kind of was like, here's penis. And now Euphoria has picked up the mantle, and they're like, here's more penises.
So any boner you see on TV is almost always a prosthetic because they're not allowed to show an erect penis. They can show a flaccid dong, but not a Wooty.
I don't get that.
No
I feel like if you're gonna go all the way.
Yeah, really. It's like, what's the difference? Like, there's blood in that. That's the difference.
It's like Japanese porn where they're like blurring out like random shit. It's like I can still see the bush and everything there, you know. Like you're not really doing a good job of like this mosaic, you know.
So here's what we've learned:
you're blurring out private parts, but like you're showing me a girl get groped on the bus. What the fuck?
Like she has ejaculation all over her chest and stomach now. You don't think I don't know where that came from? That like mosaically like grainy. Yeah, like I know what's back there. Like who are you protecting?
I was watching what is a comedy documentary that's on HBO Max, and I guess they spliced in like part of a film, and in the film it was like a guy in the middle of two other guys jacking both guys off, and they were hard. How did they get away with that?
Well, was it pixelated?
No.
Were they? I don't know. Some kind of loophole. The penis loophole.
Yeah, I guess penis.
It's probably because it was as you said, it was like a edited in scene from another film, as opposed to the film they were working on. That might be how they worked around the situation.
I was watching season 1 of How To with John Wilson, which is one of my favorite shows right now.
Interesting. Well, there you have it. Gabriel can play his music. The slur hierarchy has been done. Gabe can play his music. He simply refuses to, and I don't know what to do with him about that. That's on him, I guess. And
tomorrow's another moving day. Maybe I could just like lay the hammer down and say, no, we're gonna listen to this music. We're gonna listen to this song.
It's not even. It's not lay the hammer down. It is. This is my time. I'm going to listen to my music. Chill. That's it. You don't got to be a dick about it. You can be clear, concise, and just listen to your music. You never have to make it. Your parents came with you fucked up and sideways. You can still be the person you need to be and make your point and be nice about it. But the point still stands, and that is, hey, I'm about to play my music. Please don't touch that.
Don't
And
let
that
your
shit-
family tell you not to be who you are.
Yes.
You don't have to
Yes.
sacrifice everything for everybody all the time.
Damn right. You know,
It just
I'm
it doesn't
I
do
know
you
about
well.
5 beers, but it makes so much sense.
I'm just saying, like I said, it does you no good. You're going. All it's going to do is lead you to have animosity toward them at some point. It's like, don't do that to yourself, man. Just every now and again, this one's for me. I'm about to play my damn tracks. We about to bump this motherfucking whatever track it is, Morrissey or some shit. I don't know if you listen to Morrissey. I just went with that, and we gonna ride out.
Yeah, I mean, like if
What's your Morrissey song?
if your family can't be quiet for an hour and just like suck it up, like we've been on car rides, like when T drives, he'll put on music I've never heard of, and it'll be like 6 straight hours of shit that I don't know, but I don't complain about
I
it.
have never driven us anywhere for 6 hours, and you are always the one who drives.
No. When we went to Toronto, like before we got to the border, you played shit that I don't know, and that's fine. You were driving. You played some System of a Down for me and Vanessa when we got over the border, and then we went back to your music. That's fine. Like I didn't complain. I appreciated the break in the action. Your family needs to learn to do that shit. Like if you play 6 hours of shit for them and then you take an hour and a half for you, that's sharing. They need to learn to be a team player.
Yeah. I want to hear "To Be Loved" by Jackie Wilson, the song from Coming to America.
Coming to America.
They hate that song.
I mean, I don't know. I just kind of feel like even when some things aren't my stance, I still support my partner. Like sometimes that vision needs to be supported. Like, if it's disagreeable, let's talk about it at night. But like, hey, Dad wants to hear this song. Like, especially that song. I was joking. Like, I understand more the Nas song. Like, that's rap music. It got some words that might have made it the family feel uncomfortable. But Jackie Wilson, y'all need to sit back and shut up. I mean, I don't want to say that to a child. Y'all need to chill out, man. This is the song I'm gonna play. I want to enjoy it.
Yeah, I really dialed back this. Like, all right, they can't hear songs with swearing in it. They can't hear Ghostface talk about "suck my dick." It's the kid with the fat knob. So
I bust all
Plus all over your face. Plus I come in gobs.
Please get on your knees with that sweet pussy. Let it breathe. 2 fingers all on your hole. I think I can fit 3. Your pink
Yes, don't
lips
play that for
spread
your
it and
children.
shit.
I don't play that song. Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, some of the songs you can't play for children.
Yes, that is
But,
and I agree with that.
But I want to hear like some Anderson .Paak or some Silk Sonic. Why not?
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic too, because like my family would have never thought to tell my dad that the music he was playing was bad and that we don't want to hear it and he should change it. We would have just all shut the fuck up and just been like, thankfully he's not yelling right now.
Yeah, it's audacious as fuck.
Dad.
I mean,
I want to be the approachable dad.
They have to learn sometimes too. I think that like just because they have an opinion doesn't mean that the person that they're telling the opinion to has to give a shit about their opinion. Like that's a part of real life too. Like, you know.
Yeah, you allow them to share their opinion. You don't have to abide by it.
Exactly. I'm gonna lay the hammer down tomorrow.
Again, there's no need to lay hammers down. I've explained this. I'm going to explain it a second time. This can be done real nicely and within manners.
Yeah, this doesn't have to be like a confrontational thing. You can just be like, look, I'm your dad. You know, I want to listen to this. You support me. That's it.
All right, I'll give that a try tomorrow.
It's wild late, but
yeah, can I mute it and pee real quick? I've had like a bunch
sure. I'm still going to start talking, so you go. But T has a tiny tail, and he won't go too long on it. But I mentioned last week that my best friend from high school was coming up to visit his pop and so forth. And indeed, I did get to kick with my best friend, who I have not seen in God, like 25, 26 years. It's been a very long time. And it's really, really, really dope when you link up with somebody and you don't miss a motherfucking beat. Because we just got at it and started talking and kicking it and bullshitting. And I drove them around my little town and explained how basically how city planning works and how I would describe my city, my particular city as it relates to the overall Cleveland area and so forth. And it was just real nice. I met his youngest child, his son, and I got to see his dad, who I hadn't seen in forever, and I got to see his dad's wife, and that was good. We called his mom at one point, so I could hear her. We could hear each other's voice, and that was dope. He still calls me by my name from high school, but he tried his best to call me by the name I go by now. But he would slip up every now and again, call me my high school name, and it made me laugh just about every time because I hadn't heard that name in so long. But it was dope, man, and just some real talking, real reminiscing, discussion about things. Discuss a little bit of trauma discussion about what was bad in high school for him, and what was bad for me, and why I had such love for him and his family, because they were there for me in times where I really needed some folk in my corner, and it was just real dope. And I got to hang with them all day on Tuesday, and they came over today. We were because like it got late Tuesday, and I was like, all right, let me just we'll. I go, when are you leaving? Blah blah blah. And he's like, all right, we ain't leaving to this day. I go, all right, just come back through before you leave. That we'll old school, take some pictures and bullshit and so forth. And I did. And it was like I said, it's just dope. We are a couple of old men now. Our children are similar in age. Are actually, in fact, our youngest are the exact same age, and his oldest is a couple years older than my kid, or I guess basically a year and some change older than my kid, but nearly 2 years older than my kid, and so forth. And it's just very, very, I don't know. That was a cup I didn't know I needed to have filled, and to have had it filled, it was very, very nice. And it was dope to kick it with you, Justin, man. If you hear this, and just an all around pleasure to see you again. And I don't know. Let us not go 26 years more years between showing each other love. And that is that. So let us get our toe tap over to Emma the asshole right quick, and then we will stick a fork in this here one. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I'm just gonna jump in
asshole.
I'm just gonna go check this email, because last time I said it and didn't check the email, and we had feedback and so forth, and I didn't want to leave it like, all right, we're good. Nothing in the email that needs to be read on the show. As for Emma the asshole,
messages
each
about
week,
having sex and all that crap to make me uncomfortable. Did she ever call in just to say hi? How are you? I enjoyed the show. You guys are doing great. Nothing like that.
Yeah, you know what, Silver Key? How about one of those next time? Just a general, hello, motherfucker. Hey, hi, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? For the streets. As for Emma the asshole, each week we head over to Reddit. We pull a selection of possible things to read. We give you one or two. We discuss whether or not we believe these people are assholes. We move along. It's a breezy little situation. We was doing this shit before it was hot in the streets, and now that it is hot in the streets, I guess we got to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna write you off some. And here's where we go. Emma the asshole for asking my wife to do chores while pumping. Emma the asshole for making a comment about my daughter's relationship at a family dinner. Emma the asshole for refusing to go with my 60-year-old daughter to her father's funeral. Emma the asshole for saying my husband's ex is a toxic and manipulative bitch. Emma the asshole for telling my son I was disappointed after he and his wife lied about my grandson's birthday. Emma the asshole for letting my boyfriend come over even though my roommate wears a hijab. Emma the asshole for hinting that my husband stole my bracelet. Emma the asshole for telling my cousin He is the one who trapped his girlfriend with a baby, and he would have never got such an amazing woman otherwise. And last but not least, am I the asshole for not giving my brother my mother's engagement ring, even though I agreed to in the past? Which of that selection, besides the one we already did, because surprise, we do one early, would you care to have read out loud?
Well, I don't know. Is this job wearing girl roommate? Damn it, I forgot her name. Had the joke all set up and it just fumbled the fumbled the handoff. Fuck it.
I feel like the one where it's like outing the daughter's like relationship at dinner or whatever, that has like daughter's a lesbian and the rest of the family doesn't know yet written all over it.
Did you remember your joke, drunk man?
Looking it up. Going to Google for help.
Did you say Goonie Goo Goo?
Go to Google.
Going to Google. Mia Khalifa. Was the roommate Mia Khalifa?
It was not worth it. I will probably edit that out.
Damn you all.
It would only be worth it if it was Violet Myers. Whoa.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? Box rarely steps out on the stroll like this, and he has suggested the one, and that will be the one. Am I the asshole for making a comment about my daughter's relationship at a family dinner?
Wait a minute.
For the record,
haven't guessed beforehand in a long time. We should be doing that again. That's our thing.
Fair enough.
All right.
This one?
Not the asshole.
Okay.
Asshole.
Okay.
Asshole.
All right. For the record, Reddit believes this person to be an asshole. Am I the asshole for making a comment about my daughter's relationship at a family dinner? My daughter, Diana, 19, female, started dating her first boyfriend, Matt, in October.
Ah, damn.
My husband and I were very excited for her because during high school, she was a little behind her classmates and she didn't go to parties, never learned to do makeup, and never dated anyone, etc. I was worried for her, especially because her two sisters are ahead of her in these things and are also a little more stereotypically pretty. But when she told us she started dating Matt, it eased my worries. For the first 2 months, she was always at Matt's house or out on a date with him. She talked about him constantly, and he was always stopping to drop things off for her. They had plans to spend New Year's Eve together, but my husband caught the virus, so the plans never happened. Since then, I noticed we have heard and seen almost nothing about Matt. I started to suspect they broke up, and Diana just didn't want to be embarrassed by telling us. We had a family dinner with our extended family, 20-ish people, last week, and my sister-in-law was asking Diana about Matt, specifically when she was going to introduce him to the family. Diana said she wasn't sure because she's been busy with school and they haven't been hanging out much. Right after Diana said that, I said to my sister-in-law, I think they broke up and Diana just doesn't want to tell us.
Oh.
Diana got upset at me for saying that and left the party until an hour later, but refused to talk to me for the rest of the night. The next day, she said that they were still dating, but that my comment made her feel uncomfortable. She said I would have mortified her if I had forced her. She said I would have mortified her if I had forced her to announce her breakup to her whole family. I said she's being oversensitive, and it didn't matter because they weren't broken up. She is still mad at me and insists I'm in the wrong. She doesn't want to talk to me until I apologize. Am I the asshole?
All right, I changed my answer. My initial guess is wrong. Yeah, you're the asshole. What an asshole-ish thing to do.
I actually just clicked on. I clicked on this person's name to see if they had any other comments to be made, but indeed, this was the only thing they said because Reddit went ahead and just was like, they racked that fucking gun and was like, raka, and everybody, and I mean up and down this motherfucker, is like, bitch, and it makes me smile because I think we all can collectively agree. Yes, you're an asshole. You are a terrible person who probably doesn't deserve Diana, and I hope she does like some people have to do and X's you out their fucking life because you are shitty. Shitty in ways that Diana probably doesn't even know, but we now know because you have the caucasity. That's an assumption on my part, but you're still to share this shit on fucking Reddit. Basically called your daughter ugly.
Yeah, he called his daughter like an ugly tomboy, and he thought she was a lesbian. It was his relief that she wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's all sorts of fucking. That's you ever heard of the villains narrative in English class where like the villain will tell something about themselves, but they're not realizing they're saying what an asshole they are. That's what this person is doing.
yeah, that is as a real brand of awfulness. For the record, this is the mother, Dan, not the father who did this.
Oh, my bad.
Just for a quick comment, you're the asshole. The entire post is just you saying mean shit about your daughter. I'm surprised she even speaks to you anymore. And this person wrote a little something. I read the first few sentences, haven't gotten to the conflict yet, but wow, you're the asshole. And the conflict just proved that.
I think what makes some of these magic is like usually the first sentence is what proves that you're an asshole. Like just your foot in the door, and
Yeah.
that was definitely one of the cases.
This person writes, I was momentarily outraged and disgusted. And then I realized I've read a similar tone post recently. My daughter isn't living up to her potential, her popularity, her prettiness. Oh my. I'm only disappointed in her and me because I care poster. It's a new obvious asshole troll using obsession with superficial nonsense as rage bait. Apparently, this is the current meta. If you're on them with the asshole to get your shit read and get some love shown. No glow in the dark post, nothing out of the ordinary. But again, Reddit and Team Skim agree. Yes, bitch, you're the asshole. And yeah, I called you a bitch. I just don't give a fuck. So
Yeah, you bitch,
I can still laugh at the word, can I?
She been listening to too much Nas lately.
Sir, I'm not the one who set your rules about bitch. That was you and yours. So you do with that what you will, and we keep it motherfucking moving.
Yeah, I banned the bitch about with impunity.
On to the next. Am I the asshole for saying my ex-husband's ex is a toxic and manipulative bitch? My husband, Rob, and I got married back in October. We both brought in kiddos from previous marriages. Rob has 2 daughters with his ex. They are 17 and 14. The ex was okay with our relationship until we got engaged. She lost her mind and started screaming at the kids that their dad has moved on and no longer cares about any of them, and he doesn't love them or care about their emotional health, to be getting married and turning his back on her, the ex. Rob and his ex have been divorced for 5 years. I was not the other woman by any means. The kids saw their mom flipping out, and they primarily lived with her, so they took her side and blocked Rob and I from being able to contact them. Last time I saw the kids was in April, so almost a year. Rob has seen them in therapy as they will only see him under those conditions once every 4 months. We have zero doubt the ex is still talking badly about us to the kids. Recently, the ex called demanding Rob put the older daughter's car in just her name, and she does not trust me to not steal the car from the daughter if anything should happen to Rob. And it is cruel and unfair to force the daughter to live in such fear every day. It is driving her anxiety through the roof. I made the comment, well, if she didn't have such a toxic and manipulative bitch for a mom, I'm sure she'd be doing a lot better than she is now. Great job destroying the relationship between Rob and the girls. The ex heard me and went berserk, screaming at me for daring to say to her and at Rob for not putting me in my place, and how dare he allow me to speak with her, the mother of his children, like that. Rob ended up yelling at her that he doesn't give a shit what she thinks and has to say, that she's only the mother of his kids and nothing more and will never be anything more than that, and hung up on her while she was still shrieking her head off. Am I the asshole?
Man.
You know what, I'm gonna say no. I'm sure she's telling this tale in such a way to make herself look better, and that she's leaving stuff off that might warrant her being talked bad about. But taking it at face value, I'm going to say that no, she does not seem like she's the asshole.
Gabe said it in a way that I 100% agree with. That like, based on what I was presented with, I don't feel necessarily like she's an asshole. But I don't know the bigger picture, and it feels like there's more here than what I'm being told.
It definitely sounds like a puff piece.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, a puff piece. Like, it definitely sounds like it's totally one sided. Like, it definitely sounds like this person is just like, only talking about the highlights of the other person's negative thoughts. Like a puff piece. Like, I don't know.
Fair enough. This is one of the
Written in a way to make it
responses.
look good.
Oh, there you go.
This
Yeah,
person
know what he's talking about.
This person says everyone sucks here. Your feelings, but not your words,
Okay.
are justified if you're giving an accurate portrayal of the situation. However, as someone who works with at-risk kids on a regular basis, it is very, very, very rarely I see a situation where straight up manipulation on one parent's part can actually accomplish what you're describing. While I'm sure it can happen and sometimes does happen, the overwhelming majority of the time I see the kids believing they're unwanted by the victimized parent because of the lack of engagement and, frankly, apathy on the parent's part. The alienated parent tends to shrug the shoulders and not want to participate in the battle. On one hand, it's tough to blame a person for not wanting to be sucked into drama with their ex. On the other hand, it's your kids, How is your husband attempting to build a bridge between you all and the kids? How is he engaging them how is he engaging them other than once every 4 months in therapy? And I'm assuming it's probably court mandated therapy at that. I get the distinct impression that the relationship between your husband and his ex is the toxic part, and it's probably not all her fault. You making comments over the phone just adds fuel to an already noxious fire. What you said may be true, but it definitely wasn't helpful.
That last sentence should have been all that person said, because I don't know. That was some Monday night quarterbacking type shit. How did you know all that from that statement? That was fucking ridiculous.
They say they know it because they work in that field and have an understanding of it. They know what it is to have someone manipulate somebody, and the results. I know, and how those results normally play out. So that's what they're speaking to in that situation.
And again, that person should have just been like, just the last sentence, and that's it. Because they said all that shit just to say, "Hey, I left you $10 on the dresser."
So y'all, in your opinion, y'all saying that this woman is not the asshole.
I mean, even if she really were, she's like kind of like the third wheel of the whole thing. So her opinion is kind of like whatever.
I feel like she's been placed in an awful position, and that kind of sucks. But also, the children are of an age, I believe, 17 and 14, which is pretty much near my children's ages. And I'm like, my kids, assuming that, let's say their mother was around and talking wild greasy about my relationship, they'd come holler at me, or I would come holler at them. You feel me? So I just feel like there's a lot of work to be done here on Rob's part, and also, of course, on his baby mom's part. So
don't kids give like parents the like benefit of the doubt until like the last possible second most of the time anyway?
Maybe. Did you give your parents the benefit of the doubt?
I mean, like, my parents were never really in this situation in my life. Like, my parents were never together, like, since I've been born. So, like, I didn't live through a divorce or anything like that. I was born, and then, like, they went their separate ways. Like, I don't even know. Like I told you before, I can remember seeing my parents together in the same room, like, on one hand, the amount of times in my entire life.
I know.
Was that like your graduation or something?
I don't even remember if my mom was at that.
But yet again, it's like that dude Rob, like, what it like? I didn't from what you read. I don't know his perspective pretty much at all.
Well, you wouldn't. Rob didn't say something wrong. Old Bird did.
Yeah, this is.
Well-
I'm not gonna say everybody sucks. I'm gonna say everybody's fucking confused.
Well, he hung up on the ex on the phone.
Oh, he certainly should have.
I don't give a
Oh,
shit.
girl, wilding off. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like context clues. It seems to me Rob stepped out of the marriage. She's upset about it, and it's not so much about parenting the children. I think is like she is going to harbor resentment against this man until the day she dies, and the kids are just caught in the middle of her vengeance.
As the story's presented, they've been divorced for 5 years, which is a good chunk of time. But also, she was cool until they got engaged, and then she got shitty. So it's like they had a fine working relationship up until that point. And then when Rob and her said, "Okay, we're gonna make this official," then she tripped out.
Yeah, I think they just need to call Lindsay Lohan and they need to parent trap this bitch.
I think we've all learned that now that's Lindsay Lohan.
Lowen.
Yeah,
she got on TikTok the other day.
that I picked up on that Super Bowl ad that they were in, so can't call it.
Oh,
Still a trap, no matter what.
That there was that was a burner. I hope you enjoyed all our Emma the Assholes this week. Let's get on over to some other chatting. I beat Death's Door, that game that was kicking my fucking teeth in. I finished, and I was wildly proud of myself for it because it was very, very, very difficult. But not only did I persevere and get it done, I went back and got the secret ending to that game, and so that was super fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I would tell you, if you think you're up to it, to give Death's Door a go. It's available on all consoles, and it's available as a part of your Game Pass subscription if you are in that particular ecosystem and want to just play it on your Xbox or PC. I'm not sure if it's actually on PC now that I said it out loud, but it's definitely a part of Game Pass. And it's a really, really, really good game, and I would suggest if you think you're up to that kind of game, down for a little challenging Zelda-like that you get down with some Death's Door. I started Cyberpunk. It is strikingly gorgeous. That update really did some things for that game, but I just started, and so I don't have enough in it to tell you yay or nay on it. I have no real plans to cop Elden Ring, but it is reviewing well, like one of the best review games ever. But again, I know what them games are, and I don't know if I want to fuck with it. So I want to hear Box's review of that once he gets a few hours under his belt.
Well, like once I get it and I get into it,
yeah.
I'll either play it for 2 to 3 hours and never touch it again, or I'll play it like obsessively.
Obsessively, I know how you roll, and if it reaches obsession, then I trust it is something that I might need to be looking into, and indeed I will go from there. As Box told you earlier, he got back in these Halo streets. He got the crew practicing, so he's been doing that. Anything else under the sticks, man?
I played Call of Duty a couple times. I think we're gonna play Halo on Saturday.
Did you hear that they're probably going to skip Call of Duty next year?
Yeah, they already said that they're skipping next year.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders like what that's all about. But I don't know. Because like they got the merger with Microsoft and everything, so I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it at all.
Yeah, maybe because we're gonna have Call of Duty in real life, but
that's the other possibility. That was one thing I was thinking about, and I'm not trying to joke about war, but all these kids that like have like only played war as video games, and now that war is knocking on their doorstep, I wonder if like they're gonna change their outlook on some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, shoot 'em games are real fun when the other people don't really shoot back.
you can respawn. You can't respawn in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trapped in a deadly video game with just one man. So let's remember that. Anthony, man, what besides Writers Republic? What you been on, man?
I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima, that's my shit. Did you pay the $10 and get the update?
No, I bought the
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you told me you was gonna buy the updated version.
yeah, I bought it for PS5. I also was talking about how I've been playing the Cars game with the boys on PS4.
You had 3 hats left to get at last time at last check.
I got all the hats. We got Mac.
Wow, that's
The
real
shit was
dope.
not easy. Yeah, I got all the hats. So
Uh,
it was just like maybe 2 days ago, and like I, was it me and Emery down here? Emery wants to play cars every day. That's his thing. Um, he'll come down after pre-K get out. Like, can I play cars? I said, yeah, we'll come down here and play cars for a little while. I'll stop working for about 5 minutes and play with him for a little bit, then come back to work. And then after work, I was sitting over here with him, and just I would just go the path, like every time I went past, just try to get all the hats, like go around the whole track, boom, 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 and then slowly but surely, I got the one hat on Saturday. Then I
okay.
think I got the next hat, like, because it was the long weekend last weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got, then I think maybe Sunday I got the next hat. Then this last hat, no, that's not true. I got 2 hats in one day. That's what happened. So I got both hats on Saturday, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the last hat. I cannot get that freaking hat for nothing. I tried playing with different characters, and it was just like nothing happened. Nothing went down. And then on Tuesday, after school, I got the last hat. And I think like Anthony was in the bathtub. It was like it was the end of the night. I was, I had went back upstairs and made dinner and stuff, and like just came back. I pretty much came back down here to turn off the PlayStation. That's what I was doing down here. And then I got that last hat, and we got Mac, and everybody was excited. And now nobody's playing with Mac because he's slow as fuck.
Now, just what did you have to do to get the last hat? What character did you end up using, and where
Um,
was it?
I think I used Anthony's favorite character, Tan Spinner, from Cars, and the last hat that was I couldn't get to was off of like a cliff of a bridge,
Mhm.
and it was like maybe I guess in like inches, like maybe 6 inches away from the bridge,
Yeah.
and like it was just I I almost got it so many times, and so many times I was nowhere close. It's like just out there, just enough. Even if you get your turbo, that's not gonna work. Even if you in go mode, it's probably not gonna work. Because if you go too fast, you're gonna go right under it or right past it. And you gotta time it just right, and I finally did it. Now all the other hats were like on like when you skateboarding with grind bars. The rest of the other ones were on grind bars, and you take the car and you got to go to the side and you'll get the hat. Those were a little bit easier once I found out how to grind. But these were just like this last one was just stuck in the air, and it was just mocking me for days, weeks, years even.
Well, it's hype. I celebrate that you got it. That's pretty darn dope. I am started and am now all the way caught up and have 2 more episodes of that have yet to come out of the After Party on Apple TV Plus. Sam Richardson, Alana from
And I'm a
uh,
glazer.
yeah,
Uh,
from Broad City, and my one
Tiffany
dude from
Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish is in it. My one dude who was in that Mindy Kaling doctor show, the Mindy show, I think. I might have been with that. Anyway, yeah. That one dude who played the nurse in that shit.
Project.
Yeah. He's in it too. And just a very oh yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. My man Ben Schwartz is in it. A really, really, really dope show. It's a murder mystery that begins at these people's high school reunion, and one of their fellow students dies, and he's famous. So Tiffany Haddish is a detective who has shown up on the scene to try and help solve the case. And basically the conceit is each week she talks to one of the classmates and to get their take on what happened. And that's what the focus of the episode is. There's a flashback to what happened. And oftentimes they'll flash back to high school to see what was vibing and so forth. And it's also throughout the actual night of the party, what had happened and so forth. So it's very good, very fun show. I would definitely suggest you give that a watch if you are so inclined. You guys watch anything in particular?
Can't find a remote.
Not really.
Yeah,
It's gotta be somewhere in the RV. I don't know where it is.
Last night we started watching Snowfall together. That started. Of course, Abbott Elementary still.
Oh my God, bruh. That last episode, the one I sent you that video of,
yeah,
was so damn good, man.
And it was funny. I listened to Quinta on Fresh Air, and man, like Terry Gross, I don't know what it is lately, but I just feel like sometimes, like when she have like people of color on the show,
yeah,
like she goes to places that like she really don't need to sometimes. Like I remember one of the times I kind of backed away from listening to her when she had Chris Rock on, and she was trying to hold him to the fire about like the homophobia in comedy, and he was just like, I mean, that hasn't really been part of my comedy or like people in like in a little bit. Like we're growing. That's kind of not our community for the most part anymore, especially not mine. As he was trying to say. So
yeah.
But
Chris Rock laying out anything homophobic in a while? No, ever actually. I remember that one special. He's like, "If you hate gays, you're gonna get a gay uncle." Some shit like that.
Yeah. And like Mark Maron is like I often do fast forward through his riff at the beginning of his shows. Mm-hmm. Damn, that dude know how to fucking interview people.
Yeah, I have not listened, but I saw he had W. Kamau Bell on this week.
No, it was fucking great. Like yeah, it was good. Like especially like he's talking about the Bill Cosby documentary.
Uh-huh.
And like he gets to give a little bit of inside baseball about like it's 60 accusers on record pretty much, but he only really got to talk to 4 of them. Like other people said they would do it, they didn't do it. Or he said like so many comedians told him who to talk to, but wouldn't actually talk to him. So it was very interesting, and it's kind of funny, when Mark's talking to somebody black, how inquisitive he is. Sometimes it comes across a little bit like, come on, man, back off, cut that shit out. But he does come from it as an actual, like a search for knowledge type. That sometimes I can see how he's intelligent enough to be like, oh, I see what I'm doing. Let me back off of this and ask it in the right way. So
I don't know.
That's kind of a cool perspective of it.
There you go, folks. Get you caught up on our what we're doing for entertainment. so forth, so on. Hope you fuck with it. Gabe over here knocking over bottles.
Are you going to recycle those, Gabe?
Yeah, you gonna drive those to a state where you can get a nickel for them?
I think he gone. Yep. He's like, I'm taking my beers and leaving.
Well, worry not. We are at the end of this here program, and that is, as always, thanks for listening. If you do us a solid, please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Shouts out to those who do that each and every week. I am grateful for your presence. Don't ever sleep on that. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Stage Crunchy, our Twitch channel, Stage Crunchy and Milk, and give us a follow over on Twitter at Skimpod, SKIMPOD. Feel free to give us an email at podcast@stagecrunchyandmilk.com. If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss our way, you can join us over on Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/stagecrunchyandmilk. It's all one word. Copper fly shirt. I'm about to holler at my man Justin. Justin went to school for art. I'm gonna see if he can make me something fly for the store. I didn't even think about that, but now that I've thought about it, why the fuck not? Feel free to give us a call. 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. Our now missing man is the real ODP, who's either computer just said fuck him, or he knocked something over because he was playing around with them damn beer bottles. So that's on him. That is Tatum 216.
Good night, folks.
That's the Lunchbox 2099.
The real lunchbox.
Never imitated, often duplicated.
That's what's up. I am the Internet Stereo 713. You've just been podcast 2, and I know you loved it. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.